Hey, it's Conrad here with another edition of 321, where I take 3 minutes or less to make 2 points about one topic. And in this episode, I'm beginning a series on issues of race and race relations, particularly here in the U.S. We'll be taking a look at just a small piece of this issue in each episode, and today's topic is about defining racism. And our 3 minutes starts right now, so let's jump in. Point number one today. Racism is not ultimately an issue of personal bigotry or of one person disliking people of another race and then acting on those feelings. That is, of course, part of it, but racism is really about cultural systems and structures and about common ways of acting or not acting that benefit one group of people while making it more difficult for others in a particular society or community. It's really about power and advantage, and those are key words in this discussion. Let's also be very clear. The power and advantage in this country, both historically and presently, has been set up to work for people like me and to work against people of color. And just because laws have been changed in the past doesn't necessarily guarantee that those racist systems and structures and cultural behavior patterns have been removed. And we're going to talk more about that in future episodes. But when you understand racism as, I quote, a system of advantage based on race, as I heard defined on an excellent podcast series, it helps us understand point number two, which is this, that well-meaning people who do their best to treat everyone with dignity can still participate in racism. This is very important because many in the white community will talk about how they try their best to treat everyone with respect and how they have diverse friendships, etc., to prove that they aren't personally connected to this issue of racism. And those are all great things, don't get me wrong, but here's the key. They can all be true at the same time that we are benefiting from, participating in, and maybe even helping those systems and structures and patterns of community behavior that promote power and advantage for white people and promote the opposite for our brothers and sisters of color. There's definitely a lot more talk these days in the white community about issues of systemic racism, and I'm not saying those people aren't sincere. But the question for us is not what issues are we woke to in our understanding, but what issues are we working against or working for in our lives and in our communities. And trust me, I'm preaching to myself as much as anyone there. So to wrap it up, here's my challenge for us in this episode. Are you willing, am I willing to begin looking at our personal connection to racism as more than just how we treat individual people or whether we have friends that aren't white? And are we willing to reflect and consider how we may benefit from and participate in systems and patterns of behavior that are racist, despite the fact that we may be doing our best to treat everyone with dignity and respect? I sure hope we are ready to wrestle with these questions because that concept is at the core of the changes that still need to happen. So we're going to unpack more of these specifics in future episodes, but I hope this gives you something to think about today. Feel free to respectfully comment below or ask questions, and if you want to be notified of future episodes, please subscribe to the channel. In part 2 of this series, I'll share my story of how this issue has come to mean so much to me. As always, if I can be of help to you or your organization in any way, you can reach me at cweberspeaking@gmail.com. All right, I'm out of time. Thanks for spending some of yours with me today, and keep being awesome.